Hello and welcome to the program. I'm Phoebe Stewart. They're Australia's top guns, and for the past few weeks they've been showing off their skills and firepower over the top end. Exercise Aces North features more than 40 planes, dozens of pilots and a ground crew nudging 900. Much of the action has centred on the RAAF base at Tindal near Katherine. The base remains one of Australia's most strategically located defence facilities. Now the United States is looking to increase its use of the base in the coming years. Jano Gibson reports.
Through the shimmer of the top-end heat, a squadron of fighter jets prepares for a dangerous mission.
Shogun clear for takeoff, make right turn.
Clear for takeoff, right turn, Shogun.
As the F/A-18s pick up speed and take to the air, the deafening roar of jet engines can be heard across RAAF Base Tindal.
The thrust of the aeroplane is outstanding, and the afterburner really does push you back in the seat, and the aeroplane accelerates really quickly up to our takeoff speeds that are around 280 kilometres an hour at takeoff.
These warplanes are taking part in Exercise Aces North, a month-long training program designed to push pilots to the limit.
It's the Top Gun equivalent of the Australian Airforce, and they become fighter combat instructors. That tests the high-end warfighting skills and their tactical leadership and decision-making.
Welcome to Magpie Attacks 1.
It all begins here in the briefing room, where the mission commander plans the attack.
Overview will be start taxi takeoff as a 4-ship out to the area. We'll hit the tanker for air-to-air refuelling, and then we'll fight our way into Bradshaw for a JDAM GPS-guided attack onto Heater Charlie 3.
From there, the pilots head to the life support unit.
That's where the pilots will sign for their G-suits, their survival vests and helmets, and then from there they go down into the maintenance flight line and sign for the aeroplanes.
I'll just check the other side before, but yeah, most likely.
In the hangar, the planes are given a final check-over before takeoff.
He'll do things like checking the targeting pod, jamming pods, any ordnance that's loaded on that aeroplane, and then from there he's supported by a small team of maintenance personnel that help him strap into that aeroplane, and then oversee the start and final checks before he taxis out.
With the all clear, it's time to fire up the engines. Exercise Aces North simulates a battle in the sky. Today, Tindal's F/A-18s are playing the role of the red enemy, up against a blue force launching its attack 300 kilometres to the north.
The blue forces are all in Darwin, and they come up with they get given a mission to achieve. Out of Tindal at the moment, 77 and 75 Squadron are providing the adversary aeroplanes and providing tactics that test various parts of the blue game plan.
The F/A-18s can reach speeds of almost 2,000 kilometres an hour, altitudes of 50,000 feet, G-forces that would make most people faint.
The G-forces, the aeroplane can pull in most configurations up to 7.5 G, so your head, arms, legs weigh 7.5 times what they normally weigh here on the ground.
The warplanes carry a limited supply of fuel, but instead of having to return to base, they're able to get a mid-air top-up from a floating tanker. The air battle is coordinated from the RAAF's Eye in the Sky, a $300 million surveillance plane known as the Wedgetail.
It looks like a Virgin 737 with about 10 tonnes extra worth of stuff on it, including a big surfboard, the radar, a lot more antennas on it for the radios.
The Wedgetail acts like a flying control tower, using its state-of-the-art radar to direct friendly fighter jets to enemy targets.
It's a very time-critical decision-making process, with fighters going face-to-face, going very fast against one another. A split-second delay in that timing could affect the outcome of the battle.
But there's only so much the Wedgetail can do. In the end, it comes down to the fighter jet pilots themselves.
So we transition from surveillance picture, radar picture in the fighter into what we call eyeballs out and looking for the adversary aeroplane, and then from there tactically manoeuvring not only our aeroplane but the aeroplanes of our wingmen with direction to get to a positional advantage within the visual fight.
Just put 1-1. Clear to land, check wheels.
With the mission complete, the planes return to base under the watchful eye of air traffic control.
You're working with a team, so there's always somebody looking out for you, looking out for your back, and it's quite rewarding once you have a sequence and get all the aircraft back on the ground safely.
The pilots might get most of the glory, but they're just one part of a wider network at Tindal, helping the planes stay in the sky.
75 Squadron alone has 230 personnel, and of those there are only 14 pilots here. So the pilots provide the very, whether it's the tip of the spear, but they are a very small part of the actual execution across the exercise.
The original runway at RAF Base Tindal was set up during the Second World War to help counter the Japanese attack on Australia's northern frontier.
It was deliberately located south of Darwin, and that really was out of reach of the Japanese Imperial forces. And it really was to make sure that we had a robust air defensive cover, that if we needed to get up to Darwin, then we could.
From its humble beginnings as an airstrip in the outback, Tindal has grown into a thriving community.
The whole base houses around 550 service personnel, and if we include families on that live on base, we'll be probably approaching up to about the 2,000 mark.
To this day, it remains one of Australia's most important military bases.
We can project air combat power from just about the northern tip of Australia. So strategically, it plays a very important role for Australia, and that's why we host various multinational exercises, so we can train with our coalition partners.
Coalition partners like the United States, whose Marines and Air Force are set to play a greater role at Tindal over the coming years.
We could have the tanker passenger aircraft, the KC-10s. We might have some heavy bombers, but again, no decision's been made at this time.
Whatever decision is made, they'll be sure to make the most of what Tindal has to offer.
I've flown in airspace throughout the world, both in Southeast Asia, in North America, and the airspace between Tindal and Darwin is the best fighting airspace to practice these high-end tactical moves.